can't be that bad. Oh, it 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 can't be that bad.
You look like a fly.
It's called Bumblebee style, bro.
You look like a superhero that didn't make it.
I look cool, bro. Like Dane Cook in Mystery Men. I'm the waffler.
I don't know if you would call that cool. Funny, yes. You look happier than ever, but that's because
I look sillier than ever.
For you audio listeners out there, Alejandro's wearing a pair of sunglasses, but this time with a twist. He's wearing them upside down.
It's pretty cuckoo bananas over here.
Yeah, dude, that's the most cuckoo bananas thing that you've ever done. And it might be distracting for me for the duration of the episode.
Do you think eventually you like get used to it, like you won't even notice?
That's what I'm scared of. And then at a certain point when you flip it back over, I'm going to be freaked out.
Your whole world's going to crumble around you.
You look wild right now.
It's really fucking with you, huh?
Yeah. Things shouldn't be upside down. Have you eaten a pizza upside down? Yeah. Cheese is going to fall off, dude.
No, but I have had a deep fried pizza, which was essentially just like, remember at Sbarro's when they used to have like the pizza calzone?
Whenever you bring up Sbarro's, I start breathing heavier and heavier because that place just screams cholesterol.
I miss Sbarro's so much. And last time I had Sbarro's was in New York.
But the lighting in Sbarro's, no, terrible. It's like, I want to get out of here. I would never dine into
Sbarro's lighting. Their whole goal, is to make Greece shine.
Oh, and they're succeeding. The pizza looks shinier than ever.
They have like the mirror tile on the walls, but not like normal mirror. Gold tinted mirror.
I'm not trying to look at myself scarf down a full slice of pizza.
I remember one time after football practice, my brother had Sbarro's in the car, and I was like, "Can I eat this?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So I ate 2 slices, and he goes, "It's been in the car for 3 days."
Did you get food poisoning?
No, pizza holds. Pizza holds pretty well, actually.
Dude, old pizza? I don't know about cold pizza,
Would you
but
eat
old pizza?
Like, I've done this. I've kind of put the cart in front of the horse here, but have you ever like bought pizza for dinner and then left it out on the counter and then woke up the next morning and was like, it's still good?
Yeah, I'd eat it.
Okay, cool.
Just last week, Melissa and I went to this taco place. It's called Puesto.
Yes,
at the veranda.
I know Puesto very well, actually.
We each got 3 tacos. She didn't finish hers because she's a tiny lady.
Yeah, they're small tacos.
They're small tacos, but she's a small lady with a small mouth.
Gross. Which ones did you get? Did you do the specialty ones, or did you get the ones that they keep on the menu?
Because the ones that they keep on the menu.
They do like a taco of the day or of the month. They do a taco of the month.
No, I didn't know about that shit.
I almost always get the taco of the month.
That sounds so good. Their tacos are impeccable,
especially because you get 3, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will almost always get. One of them will almost always be the month. And they've had lingua. They've had like a lobster. They've had some pretty crazy. I've been to Puesta a lot. Me and Shannon like to go there quite a bit. And then it was right across the street from work at the time when I.
Yeah. It was just right there.
Great tequila selection. That's an awesome restaurant.
Yes. So Melissa and I went there. She got her 3 tacos. She didn't finish it. So there was a taco that we left in the bedroom in a box in the bag still. The next day, since I loved tacos, would hate to see
it go to waste.
It was just half a taco too. She didn't finish it. I wouldn't want to see it go to waste.
Yeah.
It's been more than 24 hours. I will confidently say that. In my room, it wasn't a hot day.
Was there like cheese? Was there any kind of dairy on it? No, they don't put it. So you're good to go. It's just like the meat, maybe a little salsa, and the tortilla.
Maybe a little salsa. Oxidized avocado was on it.
That's fine for me too. I would say the hardest part would be maybe the tortilla was so soggy that it tore through.
Yeah, and that didn't bother me.
It's half a taco.
Yeah, it was the chicken. It was a chicken taco.
Yeah, you're good. You're good, bro.
Pastor. Yeah, but like she watched me eat it, and she was like
disgusted.
You're gonna get sick.
No, I'll tell you what. The only time I was nervous about food like that was I went out to hang out with a friend in Sacramento, and we went to eat, and then we went to go to like a bar.
Yeah.
And I had food in my hand. I didn't want to go carry the food with me everywhere, so I threw the food in my car, and then we went. It ended up being like one of the hottest fucking days ever, and you know how gross Sac is.
Yeah.
And so I get back to my car, forgot all about these shrimp po' boys.
Oh no.
Driving back home, looked down at them. Yeah, they should be all right.
It's okay.
My thinking was, I never let them get like cool, then hot, then cool again, right? So they were warm. I boxed them up. I put them in my car, which was already warm, just got hotter.
Yeah.
Right? The hot car only got hotter. And then by the time I got in the car, everything had kind of cooled down.
How many hours had it been?
Oh, the whole day.
The whole day.
They'd been in the car the whole day.
So it changed temperature twice, we'll say. It went from
At most.
room temp or whatever temperature it was
Because
naturally.
I got to my car and it was like late. It was dark by the time I got back to my car.
So it got hot from the heat, cooled down from the AC.
This is even worse. And then I only ate one. Then I came home, put it in the refrigerator, ate the rest of them the next morning.
Oh, were you?
I was fine.
Damn. So your gut, you have a strong gut then.
I was worried about like the mayonnaise that's on it, and then also the fact that it's shrimp.
Yeah. Yeah, that's seafood, dude. Seafood is a no-go. Like, I wouldn't have done it.
Station sushi?
Because, yeah, actually 2 weeks ago, I was trying to, dude, I've going through some stomach issues. My age is fucking hitting me.
I had chicken vindaloo yesterday, and I'm a champ right now. My butthole doesn't even pucker.
Really? Really? That is some of the spiciest shit I've ever eaten. If that vindaloo touched my chapped lips, done. I'm done.
I ate it, and then I took a bath. Just kidding.
Put your mouth in the bathwater and just cooled off. But I ate sushi. We had some sushi. And
From where?
From this place in Concord. I want to keep the place.
Did I hear this on the last episode?
I did, yes, but I want to go deeper into it because I didn't get to talk.
So say the name.
I'm not going to say the name. They're nice people that work there, but I'm not going to say the name because
maybe it's not
hard
their
times,
fault.
dude.
Yeah, and
I don't think it was their fault. Maybe I fucked up along the way. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you ordered food from a dirty place.
Maybe it wasn't even the sushi. Maybe it was from something prior.
Well, describe what happened. Let me hear me
So I ate
the
sushi.
story.
I ate it too fast.
What kind of sushi?
It's there are 3 different specialty rolls that I can't remember the names of.
Do you remember what kind of what the fish was?
Yeah, there was salmon and there was tuna and then there was shrimp tempura in some of them.
That's the one that got you sick.
Probably the shrimp tempura.
Yep.
Okay, so
That's exactly the one that got you sick.
I will admit I ate it way too fast. I also had a large serving of boba, of milk tea, that right after and during this entire sushi meal.
Yeah.
And I laid down quickly after I ate. The next day.
What are you trying to Jimi Hendrix yourself and drown in your vomit?
Dude, I woke up. So I slept on my belly. Because it felt better that way.
I am a belly sleeper too, and it's actually not. It's really bad that we do that. Especially on a full stomach.
I woke up in the middle of the night in pain, excruciating pain.
On your left side, I think, because that's like when the stomach goes into the intestine, it drains to the left.
With you saying that, please be a homie. Treat me like a junkie. Over. Yes, and just roll me over so that I don't throw up and
clear your tongue.
Yeah, dude, clean me up. If I've had a shitty night.
You know that happened to me once.
You threw up in your own mouth?
Yeah, I was laying in bed, fucked up, and started vomiting.
I imagine it looking like a fountain.
My brother saved my life.
Shooting up. He said he turned you over?
He was screaming at me, and then Ashley had to elbow him to go save my life, and he came and slapped me. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to another episode of ICBTB's Highly Irrelevant.
My name's Alejandro.
And my name is Christian. Alejandro.
I'm back, baby.
You're back.
Tell the sheep the wolves are home.
Dude, I've missed you a lot.
I'm here and I'm queer, brother.
Like today is the first time that I've seen you in weeks.
It's been a solid month, actually, because I left.
Yeah.
We recorded our last episode with David McEwen before I left for Texas, and that was maybe the first week of September.
Yeah, then I recorded with Jules just last week.
Yep, and that came out. That was a good episode. Congratulations.
Thanks, dude.
That was fucking oh no, we can't add that. We'll have to cut that one out.
Yeah, you can't say that.
I meant that in a good way, though. We'll bleep that, but just so people know, I said a really bad thing, but I meant it in a really good way. And, it's up to your imagination to figure out what I said.
And it's like how people say, man, that's bad.
But
bad
to the
means
extreme,
good.
I took it.
English is just such a weird language,
guys,
dude.
Give me a minute here to get back into the swing of FCC rules and politically correct.
You've been away for such a long time. You visited family in Texas.
Am I talking to the right side of the? Is this the right side? Is this the correct side of the microphone?
You are not doing it right, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this better?
You're out of practice.
I'm learning,
and you're learning, but learning quick.
Similar to a bicycle, except I don't know how to ride a bike.
That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie, and I'll tell you why. Because you rode a bike here in high school for improv practice when we were having it downstairs in my mom's doll room.
I don't think I rode it here for practice.
You rode it here for something.
Yeah, but not for practice.
But you left it in my side yard for years, and that's not even an exaggeration, for years. And the only reason why it sounds like I'm getting a little aggressive now is because every week, maybe every month, my mom would say, Christian, Alex's bike is still outside. It's rusting. This bike is rusting because it's going through all sorts of weather. It's going through multiple seasons. And you're like, I'll get it next time. I'll get it next time. It's not like you didn't come by. You would just like leave it there. And it was a perfectly fine bike, but you treated us like a Goodwill.
No way. A Goodwill wouldn't have asked me to come pick it up.
Yeah, you're right. But everyone likes to just leave their shit in this house. Like,
really? What else? What other things have other people left here?
I think Austin Scott left speakers here. And so
I actually, were those the speakers that were in his trunk?
I'm not sure. I don't know if they were in his trunk. I don't know how they would get from his trunk into the house. He must have brought it himself.
Yeah, probably because we needed space in the trunk for something. What else? What else did the people left here?
I think clothes. People have definitely left. Someone left a bag of hair products here after a sleepover or after like a party, and
Women's
like they
hair
were sleeping
products?
over.
Men's hair products.
Unisex? Can hair products do?
Yeah, but like women don't use pomade usually, and men don't generally use dry shampoo.
Okay, that's true.
Oh, that was pretty smart for me. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe
Have you
this is
used
like
dry
riding a
shampoo
bike.
before?
Only just to see what it does.
Yeah, it just removes the oil. You're still
Yeah,
technically dirty.
Now
but-
I don't use much shampoo at all.
Uh-huh.
I've cut my hair quite short, and I almost
Yeah,
don't
you
use any
did.
shampoo.
Why'd you cut your hair, dude? You for you baddies that haven't seen a picture of Alejandro, he's gonna take his hat off right now. You shaved
My
your
hair's
head.
gone. I didn't. It's not. I'm not bald. It's close.
Yeah.
I would say I'm like 3 weeks out of boot camp is what I would call that.
Yeah, you
haircut.
got if you were to put like a 1.5 inch guard on clippers, that's what you would have.
I believe
all
when I
around.
cut it originally, it was a 3 on the sides and a 4 on top.
Gotcha. You should do it the other way. You know how people get fades and it's like short on the side and long on the top? Do it the other way around.
So you want me to be like a balding man? You want me to be a bald?
No.
the pirate friend from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
the short one, not the one with the wooden eye.
I want you to not grow it out on the sides and slick it. I want you to just grow it and let it fall.
Einstein style.
Yes, Einstein or Ben Franklin style.
Or
Or style it to look like you're the letter T. So just style it and pull it out.
like Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So I cut my hair. I grew a beard and cut that off. I read a book called Where's Waldo? Never found him, which is fine because I've heard that it's for older kids, and
Yes.
I'm still
You're
learning
not
how
there
to
yet.
read.
You're not there yet, dude.
I think I do the best I can. I didn't find Waldo, but I did find Oswaldo.
I did find 495 other objects and people.
I did find a dog's tail.
I found this beach ball.
I did find a wizard.
There should be a game where instead of finding Waldo, you have to find a very specific other object in
you
that
kidding
thing.
me?
Is that what?
That's part of Waldo, bro. You also got to find like his camera and his cane. Or maybe it's a book. Sometimes he has a stack of books that he's losing.
Really? I thought you're
Yeah.
only finding Waldo.
Waldo is the toughest and like the piece of resistance. But there's other things that you have to find besides Waldo, bro.
But I feel like Waldo would be one of the easier things to find because he has his iconic striped shirt.
Ain't that the joke?
I do want to. Why do people dress up as Waldo on Halloween? I think that's probably one of the laziest things you could do.
I actually think it's really funny. I think it's overdone now, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think it's lazy. I think it's overdone now. I think it was really funny like in 2004 when you would go to a Halloween party and everybody would be there.
That's
and
16 years ago.
And also a Waldo.
We would have been in middle
Well,
school.
but that joke was funny then.
I guess.
That joke was like still fairly new then. That's why I picked that date. I didn't pick that date just as like I did pull it out of my ass, but like I picked that date because that joke was new then. That joke's
Yeah.
overdone now.
What are other overdone costumes right now? A sexy police officer.
Sexy like blank.
Yeah, sexy anything.
Yeah.
Dude. No, there has to be a bunch of
Because now the joke is like making things that shouldn't be sexy. Sexy or that was the joke and now it's like making objects sexy.
Yeah,
right?
because
So
the joke was sexy nerd.
First it was like sexy nerd, nurse, police officer, fireman,
Doctor,
teacher, librarian, and then it became like all the naughty things like a sexy nun and then a sexy like
a little more risque.
yeah. And then the next step now we're in the like I'm like my boyfriend is the wire like the plug and
Yeah.
I'm an outlet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that works.
Now we're like at like the joke of the sexy costume.
Now, can you make those sexy? Can I be a sexy plug and can you be a sexy outlet?
Maybe once we turn off these mics.
Hey.
I do want to also say, I did lose a bet, and you don't know this because I didn't.
Yeah,
run this
I
past
don't
you.
know what happened.
I did lose a bet to one of our friends over at the Real Buzz crew. Shout out DJ Rob. So I have a couple things I need to say right here, and I'll look into. Is it camera A that we're using?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Rob and the city of Kansas City. Great job beating the Los Angeles Chargers. That kick was very cool, even though you had to do it 3 times. But I'm not here to. I have to say nice things about Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, definitely in line to be MVP of the year, and he's got a hot wife. That's the best I can do for you, Kansas City.
Damn, dude. You made a bet with DJ Rob.
Oh, and I got a beer in there for you, Rob.
Yeah, all you got to do is come from Kansas City.
Well, I mean, yeah. So me and Rob had made a bet. Kansas City Chiefs played the Los Angeles Chargers. It was the opening game for the Chargers at their brand new stadium. It was an incredibly great football game. I know this is boring half of our audience, and I hope they didn't crash their car hearing this, but I would like you to know that I was very impressed with the sport of play that the Chargers were able to bring, because it's been a long time since I could say I was proud of the playing that the Chargers had.
Because you've always been a diehard fan, but a disappointed diehard fan
I've
lately.
been a Chargers fan since 2006, and I've never actually been happy with it.
And you're not shy about it either.
It's a love-hate thing.
The thing with sports, and like this is coming from like a unbiased place where I don't really know too much about sports, right? Is that it's super fucking divisive, but at the same time,
it's basic tribalism.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, hey, fuck you.
Are you wearing a green shirt?
Man, fuck you.
Wear the yellow shirts.
Yeah, fuck you.
It's pretty tribal.
Yeah, and they're like, but guys,
but we all love the sport of football, right?
You're tearing us apart.
Yeah.
You're tearing us apart. It's for the community.
It's for the competition, actually.
Yeah, man. It's
That's
healthy
the
competition.
Yeah.
It's when it gets a little too radical that it scares me. Like I've never been to radical, baby. What do you call it when people are all out in the parking lot?
A tailgate.
Tailgate.
Oh man,
I've never been to a tailgate.
I've been to tailgates. I've been to tailgates wearing Chargers gear at the Oakland Coliseum. Yeah, at a Raiders game. And
you're ballsy, man.
Dude, you know what? There is a level of hooliganism, right? But then at the same time, there is still a camaraderie that you have with people who are there to enjoy the sport, people who are there to have fun. I mean, I'm also, you know, maybe not the first couple of times I got it, but as I got older, I was definitely okay with like being in a sports stadium and people being like, fuck you. You want a beer? You know, like that.
Wow.
Like I've had that. I've also had people being like, fuck you, and then like get really fucked up. And then you just kind of like block those people out, because some people get super drunk and fucked up. But, you know, that happens at like a fucking bar or anywhere. So like.
Remember that one time? Oh my gosh. And I wish COVID wasn't happening.
When we went to an A's game?
We went to an A's game. And it was just like, not out of the blue. You had like asked me like maybe 2 days prior.
Yeah, I had tickets. I think they were about to expire or something, so we had to use them.
We did it right. And I want to walk through all the steps. I want to tell the baddies how we did it, because that was such a glorious day.
It was a great day. There was a couple of things that kind of lined up perfectly for us too. So one, the tickets, I believe I got the tickets for free.
Yeah.
And the only caveat was they're expiring in like 2-3 weeks.
We gotta go.
We found a day that worked, and I think. Were you working at like H&M at the time? You weren't in college at Davis yet.
I have no clue where it was. It was in the last 5 years, maybe. For
you weren't
sure.
doing improv yet.
I'm not too sure when, but I do remember neither of us had anything planned that day.
It was a weird, yeah.
We went to the gas station and we had each gotten a big gulp, but we didn't get a big gulp for the sodas.
We got, in fact, and we did this because I told you about this. This was my plan.
This was a plan.
I was like, this is what we'll do. So we'll go to 7-Eleven and buy big gulps and buy the cups full of them with ice.
Yeah.
And
yes.
while I buy the ice, Christian, you go buy 4 Lokos.
4 Lokos, dude.
And what we'll do is we'll crack the 4 Lokos in the parking lot at Bart, pour them into the big gulp cups, drink them on the way to the game.
And we did this right. We were just some 2 20-something-year-olds.
Only mistake was we should have gotten the super big gulps, because the 4 Lokos didn't fit in the cups. And so now we had, you remember, we had a good like 3 inches left in the can.
Yes.
So now we're like looking around the parking lot.
We were in the Bart parking lot
trying to chug these 4 Lokos.
And if you were to see us from a distance, you'd be like, these 2 stupid teenagers. Nope. Easily in our early to mid 20s.
We're at least 22, 23.
Yeah, for sure. If we bought the alcohol.
But once we ditch the cans, walking around with the big gulp cups.
Not a bad idea.
And honestly, I've done that a couple of times. I went to an A's game, shout out Nick Lowe, to meet up with Nick Lowe, and I did that there too. I learned from our mistake here, because we made one mistake with this.
What?
When you get off BART to go to A's game at the Coliseum, the first thing you walk past is like a line of cops. They're usually not really doing anything. They usually don't really care. They're just there to make sure that like you're not walking into Oakland Coliseum like waving a gun or screaming obscenities or like so blacked out drunk that they got to take care of you
because
right then and right there.
Because they know that people are going to come under the
having
influence to a certain extent.
We were young 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
We had these Bill Gulps that were pretty much almost done, right? We hadn't finished them, but we were getting close to the end. We saw the cops. We immediately ditched them.
Yeah.
Threw them in the trash, walked past the cops, and I remember immediately as soon as we walked past them, I looked at you and I was like, we didn't have to throw those away.
No, we were fine.
Like, there was no way that they would be like, hey, you two, let me see those cups. Like,
let me see those
there's
big gulps
so
real
many,
quick.
like, steps that would have had to have happened for that to go down.
Because my first thought when I see an individual with a big gulp,
Oh.
I'm not thinking there's alcohol in there that they're trying to sneak into their mouth.
I'm thinking they're probably drinking too much sugar.
Yeah, I'm worried for their health in a
Diabetes.
different reason.
Diabetes.
I'm like, there's no reason for you to drink a gallon of Coca-Cola. Or
Unless you're a truck driver and you need to make it to Oklahoma in 24 hours.
Yeah, and that's like if you're drinking that throughout the course of like a day. But I've seen some kids
suck
with
'em
big
down.
gulps just go ham on that straw.
So that was our first good move. I believe also as soon as we got into the stadium, we went straight to the, I think it's a Bullet whiskey bar that they have at the A's Coliseum.
Yeah.
And you had never been there because it is kind of like a sneaky hit-away bar. And I remember taking you there and being like, hey, let's get some like real drink before we grab a beer and go down there. We get our drinks, we grab our beer. I think we even grabbed a hot dog too. And we went to go sit at our seats. Of course, it's A Stadium. There's nobody fucking around. We weren't in the best of seats. We weren't in the worst of seats, but we were on the first tier.
Yeah.
And 10 rows in front of us, completely empty. You know, and then there's like a family, maybe 2 rows to the right of us, and then a family behind us. Do you remember the other thing that was crazy about that night was everybody had the Filipino flag hats.
Except for me.
We didn't get them.
Yeah,
And I
we
kept
missed it. How did we not get it?
We missed it because we came in after the game had started. So they were giving away those hats for
Because
Filipino
we were a
Day
little late
for
because
the
we were
first-
probably chugging 4 Locos in the parking lot.
So they were giving, it's like bobbleheads or radios, whatever the fuck they're giving out. They give it out to the first 100,000 people, first 50,000 people, whatever. We just barely missed it, you know. And but I do remember like me tapping one of the dudes on the shoulder, being like, "Hey man, where did everyone get these hats from?" And he was like, "It's National Filipino Day." And I like looked at you, and
The
you're
Filipino.
Like, it is. You're like, I had no idea.
the token Filipino guy in Benicia. No, there's definitely a bunch here.
So many.
But yeah,
but that
I
was fun.
Didn't have one.
And then I do also remember us like exploring, just going to like a completely different section. And then I remember told you, I was like, let's go sit, let's see how close we can get before they ask us for our tickets.
Yeah.
And we got to like the third
We
row.
got very close. Oh, it's because it's an Oakland A's game. It's never packed.
It was we were near the end of the game. The
No
A's
one's
were
super
getting
rowdy.
blown out. They were
Yeah.
losing.
But we didn't let that rain on our parade.
No, we were having a good time. That's why I love Oakland. Right now they're winning right now. Shout out Oakland A's. They're killing it.
We
But,
made
at that
laps
time, they were
around that
losing.
Coliseum, dude.
We saw
because
everything.
One thing I remember more so than like the 4 Locos and the National Filipino Day was the excessive amount of food and beer that we had because
Everything. We
I
didn't stop.
felt horrible on the way back home. I was full of food and alcohol.
bubbles?
Yeah, dude. Like it was just as glorious
Again-
as a day as that was.
I was gonna say again, also 20-year-olds, we didn't know how to prepare.
No.
We didn't know how to layer it. You know what I mean?
No.
Now if I go back to a baseball game, you know what I mean? I have a beer right off the bat, and then maybe like some nachos, and then give it a minute. You know what I mean? Then like now I'll go get my whiskey, and then now that I've had maybe like a slice of pizza.
That's
or a
something that
burger.
we probably learn more and more as we grow up is like how to pace ourselves with.
Or like understanding it. Like today,
Mm-hmm.
you came over, and I was 37 beers deep, and also hadn't eaten breakfast. But
yeah,
that's
what?
why my meal was.
We were in the middle
2 sandwiches.
of watching a movie. You had some beers, and you were like,
Oh yeah, I
I'm
haven't eaten
gonna
all
get
day
up
today.
real quick. I need to eat. I haven't eaten I'm
All
like,
day.
What? And then I watched what you ate. You had 2
Ham and
sandwiches,
Swiss.
and then after that, you got up
I did have a bowl of cereal.
and you came back with a bowl of French toast crunch.
I had to get my breakfast and lunch in, Christian.
Then I asked, "Hey man, can I have any snacks?" You were like, "Yeah, dude, you can have whatever. There's some eggs in the fridge." And like I get up and like I go for the box of French toast crunch, and you're like, "Dude, I said I have eggs in the fridge. Don't touch my cereal." And I was so confused. I'm like, "What the fuck, man?"
I offered you eggs.
But I can't.
I offered you eggs.
You made that bowl of cereal look so good. I had to have a handful. And it wasn't even a handful. It was half a handful. And I was getting some flack for that. You come here. You come to my place. You get the man cup, which is basically a
Ooh, I
bowl
haven't
with a
seen
handle.
a man cup in years.
It's still there,
oh,
man.
I'd fill that baby with cereal real good.
Yeah, you can. One time I had
You can.
I had a friend here, Vincent Nogue, and
Friend of the podcast.
he wanted to get himself a bowl of cereal. So I said, hey, yeah, grab whatever from like the dishwasher. We were using the dishwasher as a dish rack. And I see him sit down. He's eating. He's halfway through his bowl of cereal. And I see him move his hand. And the bowl of cereal is the dog's bowl. He's eating from the dog's bowl. And now I have internal conflict. I'm like, do I tell my buddy right
You
here?
should have been like, hey, that goes on the floor, pal. You know the rules. Come on, no dogs at the table.
It was obviously a dog bowl because it was one of those like bowls that had a flat bottom, a fully flat bottom, and like it's just made to be kind of like stable. Yeah, like that's obviously not a human bowl, dude.
Oh boy.
But he was halfway through it. I eventually told him, and like he threw it out. He was pissed. But
then my now question is like, why? Who cares then at that point? You've already eaten half the meal. It is a clean bowl anyways, right?
Yeah, you clean the hell out of it.
It's
regardless.
like drinking toilet water from the tank, not the bowl.
If I had to do that, I'd do it.
But people would think like, oh, I'd rather drink tank water than bowl water.
It's the apparatus.
It's the same water. It's the same water.
Yeah.
It's just as clean.
But it's just, like I said, it's just the apparatus. Like
nobody's shitting in the tank.
I mean, it's also like, yeah, no one's shitting or pissing in the tank. Would you boil
unless you're really funny.
Unless there's already someone pooping.
You have a great joke. Nobody's pooping in the tank of a toilet.
Dude.
Unless you're giving your best friend an upper decker.
You know it'd be real funny.
Honestly, after this chicken vindaloo, now's the time to give somebody an upper decker.
I don't know if we've spoken about it on the podcast before. Your senior prank. Yeah, I mean, okay, we might have repeated this story, but
sorry,
fuck
guys.
it.
Yeah, we got new listeners. My senior prank, and it's not cool now that I'm older and know what's up.
Don't go straight into it. I kind of want to talk about the buildup. We were all in English class. You had gone to the bathroom real quick.
No.
Am I getting it wrong already?
That's a different story, but very similar.
Oh, okay. What are you gonna tell?
What you're talking about is when I had everybody go in and see it.
Yes.
That wasn't my senior prank. That was just a big log turd that I dumped, and I wanted people to see it.
Okay, so long story short, since we're not going to tell that story, Alejandro took a shit in a urinal and asked all of us to come see what he made in the bathroom.
So you're conflating two stories then.
What?
Yeah. The English class poop where I made everybody come in and look was my 13-incher.
What?
Okay? It was my 13-incher. Pooping in the urinal.
13 inches?
I had left straight up. The pooping in the urinal story, I had stepped out of Gov Econ.
Uh-huh.
And I remember because I was leaving Mr. Bowles' class. Were you there in the bathroom with me?
When you shat in a urinal? No, I remember that.
We locked Jeremy Padrones in there with us.
Don't ever lock people in a bathroom where you're pooping.
I think one other person was in there with me who knew what I was doing and was in there like in on the joke and was going to be my lookout. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy just happened to be in the bathroom too. And I was like, guess what I'm doing? And I like turned around and started.
Did you look him in the eyes?
Yes.
You have a problem of looking at...
It's not a problem. It's a skill.
To look someone deep in the eyes as you're defecating?
Dogs do it. Why is it so weird when I do it?
Why do dogs do that?
Because they're looking at you for safety. If there was something, because
they're
their most
vulnerable.
vulnerable point is when they're pooping. So if something were to attack them, you would alert them first.
But it's so odd because when dogs poop, they kind of shake. They're like shaking because they're squeezing so hard.
Your dogs shake when they poop.
My Chihuahua,
because it takes their entire energy force to try and get it.
Dude, I'm worried about my dog's butthole, man. Gumo,
Close. Save that audio, please. That's all
I'm so worried because all he does every night is lick his butt.
No, that's good.
And like it's good to an extent.
That's lucky for him.
But he keeps going and going and going, and then like when he shits, it's like some of his butt comes out, and so like the insides of his butthole is like.
When's the last time he had his glands expressed?
I couldn't tell you. My mom's the one that takes care.
I bet you he probably needs to get his glands expressed, especially with all the licking and a little bit of the puckering in the butthole.
Yeah.
I'm not a vet, but I would guess that he needs to have his anal glands expressed.
Probably, dude. He's 15 years old.
It's easy to get done. You should just take him to like a groomer. They can do it. It's very easy. It'll smell like shit though, because I bet you it hasn't been done in a long time.
Shit, man. I'm not excited to do that. I mean, I want him to be healthy.
You don't do it. Have one of those fuckers over at Petco do it.
Yeah, probably like Petco, PetSmart.
Yeah, one of those that do the bath. Hey, and also while you're bathing him, can you express his glands? And they'll know exactly what you mean. They're like, yeah, no problem, we'll take care of it. And then they'll do that little time bomb, and
and everything will just come out.
I don't know exactly.
I don't know
what comes out.
What is gland expression?
So they have like these little anal glands that keep themselves clean and the right bacterial mix up in their anus, since we're getting pretty scientific with it. And the anal glands,
yes, please use the word anus.
That's the part of the
No, I know what you're
rectum that
saying.
I'm speaking of.
It's just funny that you had to clarify. Please continue.
And these anal glands, I think, sometimes need to be expressed. They fill with juice.
If we're gonna get scientific here.
Now I'm out of the scientific
yeah,
talk.
dude. If you're using the word juice now.
Blame it on the juice. Call me Lizzo.
Oh, but I'm worried about his butt, man. He's the same age as a sophomore in high school. My dog is a sophomore in high school.
Your dog's gonna be sneaking beers and going out at night now.
Dude, Kumo is probably sneaking in other girl dogs or guy dogs. No,
Kumo's sneaking a guy dog.
It's a guy dog. He's notorious.
Or maybe like not at all. I've seen Kumo hump.
Yeah, he's tried to
He used to
hump.
be quite a big humper. Mm-hmm. Not physically, but just in the amount.
Melissa's pug that she brings over
The
sometimes.
one that's right behind you?
Yes, and on a picture.
Yeah.
That pug, she would bring over, and the first time that Kumo met this pug, he's either one of two ways with dogs.
He humped a pug?
Very like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate
It's
you.
a dominance thing.
Or I want to fuck you, I want to fuck you, I fuck you.
Either way, no, not to the dogs. It's a dominance thing. Mm-hmm. It's Kumo telling him,
This is my place.
This is my house. Mm-hmm. Just so you know. Hey, just so you know, little dog, this is my house.
But he doesn't do it anymore. I think.
Because he already asserted his dominance. Pug already got the picture.
Mm-hmm. Pug's like, okay, you tried humping me, I get it.
And then now it may even be the fact of Kumo like knows that he's an old dog.
Yeah.
And Pug knows that also. So Pug's like, hey man, you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you.
Okay.
Sochi used to be a big humper, and it was a dominance thing. She used to hump Frito, which was Ashley's male dog.
So even though Sochi is a female,
Yeah. Oh, she beat that motherfucker up.
she would still just
Yeah. Oh,
go
she
to
manhandled
town?
that bitch. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sochi wore the pants in that relationship.
Interesting. Damn.
Yeah.
I did not know that because my Maltese Halo, she would try doing it, but she's too overweight to stay upright for
Guess
too
she's not
long.
that dominant then, huh?
No, it's just and
Some
overweight.
people want to be alphas, but not everybody. There can only be one. You know.
I guess, yeah. In that pack, I guess my Chihuahua is the leader.
That's why they say when you get a dog, the first thing you should do is hump its brains out.
As a human? Let me just get my notepad and take
Just
that
so
down.
you know, I'm the king.
Hey, lady, is that your dog over there? It looks at me funny.
Huh?
I'm gonna hump your dog.
This is my daughter. Sir, this is my daughter. Her name is Tabitha.
Tabitha, for dominance and scientific purposes and animalistic purposes, I'm gonna hump you.
I'm gonna call the police.
As you should, because we don't condone that behavior here at
We
ICBTB.
do condemn it though.
We condemn it for show.
Oh man, this is fun. Let's see. I got the bet out of the way. I said I'm back.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I did want to say good job on the episodes with Jules. You
Thank
guys,
you
you
very
guys
much.
were very entertaining.
Thanks,
so
dude.
entertaining and threatening that I had to come back immediately because I didn't want anyone to get too
You're
used
like,
to Jules.
that's it. No more episodes with Jules.
You were already texting me like I can bring Otis in this week. And I was like, no. I'll be there.
I'm good.
I'll
I'm
be
good.
there.
I'm a professional. I'm back.
I'll be there right now. If you want to do it right now, is that the thing? Because I'll do it right now.
I don't care where you are. If you're at work,
I got a mic on my phone.
let's do it. We'll record a ghetto podcast.
Honestly, bro, I don't think it would be that ghetto. People make the best of what they have, okay?
Yeah, but if we already have
People do the best of what they have.
the best of
People do
what
it the
they
best of
have,
what they have.
and this is what we have,
And I'll use my phone.
high quality microphones.
Is my phone not high quality?
I don't know. You're going to get some excess background noise. We're going to hear...
I think that means that the mic's even better then.
No, dude. It's supposed to be isolating to just your voice.
Okay, I was going to ask, like, is there a weird line of, like, the microphone
What?
should be able to pick up any sound, but also you really only want it to pick up one sound, which could be, like, good and bad. I'm sorry, this is dumb.
What?
I don't know what I'm
No,
saying.
I mean, it depends on your situation, man. Yeah,
yes.
if you're trying to record 5 people on one mic, please record 5 voices.
man.
But if it's just my face on this mic, just my
All sounds.
my voice. No, dude.
I want all sounds.
I'm not trying to hear fucking Kumo humping in the background. Is that what humping sounds like to you?
For that 18-year-old dog, yeah.
No, for an 18-year-old dog, you think their humping sounds like bad beatboxing? Kumo's humping again.
Yes, that's the sound because his testicles are full of air now.
No, he ain't got no testicles, dude. It's just scrot.
So then it is full of air.
No, it's just like you want me to show you right now?
No, why, are you going to pull your pants down?
No, my dog scrotum.
You saved your dog scrotum?
No.
I don't know what to make of you anymore.
My mom saved a piece of my umbilical cord.
Whoa, not what I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say foreskin.
And that.
Are
I
you
didn't know
serious?
if I should. Yeah, dude. I think it's in the...
Wait, well, but okay. Don't
Is that a normal thing? She showed me and I
don't know.
gagged.
I think it might be. Mine didn't get cut off, but I think I don't know what people do with it when they cut them off. I hear you're supposed to plant it under a pussy willow. Hey. No, honestly, it's not a surprise to me that saved with an umbilical cord. It seems like the you're doing the things at the same time, right? So I think my parents saved a part of my umbilical cord as well.
Why is
know.
that a thing?
I don't know. I think it's something to do with being a parent. I also have a question for all the parents out there, if there's any of them listening. My brother and his wife, their daughter, my niece, she's never cut her hair. She's going on 3 or 4 years old now. She's never cut her hair once her entire life. I don't understand the obsession parents have with not cutting their children's hair for the first time.
Her hair? Where's it go to?
Long, all the way like down to the back of her knees. It's insanely long, but it's also curly.
Really long.
She's got curly hair, so
Okay.
it clumps up a little bit. So it's like maybe like down to the bottom of her back, but still very, very long hair.
That's long for a child.
But because it's never been cut. And my whole thing is like, hairs are going to be, your hair, you're going to get a haircut a million times in your lifetime. What is the big deal about saving the first haircut? I don't understand what the big deal is.
This is the hair that came out of my womb.
No,
This is the
babies
hair
aren't born with hair. Very rarely are babies born
a
with
little bit of hair, right?
Were you born with hair?
I don't know. I have a full-blown afro.
Very rare. Sometimes like when babies are born with hair, it's very rare because hair is like a later development thing.
Yeah, that means that baby's been in there for 18 months.
That means that the hair follicles developed before
the baby.
the breathing of oxygen follicles came about.
You could see hair in the ultrasound. Oh,
Woof. 80s baby.
80s baby.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not a parent, so I don't.
I can't fathom the reasoning of keeping the first haircut.
I will say this though. I think it's nice when girls have longer hair. Like with girls that I think is an attractive trait to have long hair, like really long. I don't know why.
We've been told that.
Yes, we've been. I don't know if we've been told that.
For sure, because we grew up. We are maybe one of the last generations of people to grow up with the boardroom concocted, like girl next door. You know what I mean? Like we've had like what a pretty woman's supposed to look like and what a pretty man is supposed, and like very clearly what their roles are shoved down our throat from when we were a kid, and then like right around our teenage years, suddenly they're just like, all that shit's kind of bullshit, right? And then we're all like, oh fuck. Yeah, it is. Why can't I wear pink? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're one of the first generations to both be bred in the era of understanding defined gender rules and then also being in an era of where the spectrum comes out.
Yes, rather than just one or two. Like
Correct.
Boys like blue, can't cry.
Yeah.
Girls wear pink, long hair.
And back in the days, the boy color was pink actually.
Back in the days, as in what?
Like in the 30s.
Year? Really?
Yeah.
Pink?
Boy color was pink, girl color was blue.
Are we talking hot pink or like periwinkle?
Like it's actually more of a redder pink, and then the blue is a little bit more of a baby blue for the girls.
For the girls. Okay,
But
that
at one point it
makes
did
sense.
flip, and pink became synonymous with girls.
And it's crazy that we associate that color. We associate colors with gender. For what, dude?
That's a crazy thing, dude. We add gender to everything. We were talking earlier about how when you name a ship, a sword, or a car, you usually name them after a woman. You have a woman's name.
Why is that? I mean, like I have friends who name their cars girl names, and if you were to ask them, they'd probably say something like "us because we go inside them," or like "because we ride them."
It's honestly, it probably is as like trivial and as silly as that.
But would a girl name her car after a guy's name? Like this is my sedan, Brad.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I think it's that idea of like, weirdly enough, that song, the TLC song, No Scrubs.
Yeah.
When Weezer redid their cover, they could have said, I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a girl that can't get no love from me. But they didn't.
They kept the guy.
They kept it. A scrub is a guy that can't
That's
get no.
interesting.
So like they purposely made a choice of like, this is how the song is written. This is how we're going to sing the song. Even though we're doing a cover, even though you know who we are, even though you know that we're guys and we're Weezer, we don't have to change the song. Because whereas if they maybe would have done that cover earlier in their career, I think they may have been forced to either by the record company or just by how society is. They maybe would have changed the lyrics.
Okay. Because when I sing songs, I purposefully change the lyrics so it doesn't sound like I'm serenading a dude.
Interesting.
But then like...
But see, so my question, this is great. I want to have a little bit of a conversation about this. Because my question is, aren't you singing the songs to honor maybe the original singer, the songwriter, or the essence of that song? So you're telling me that you think your composition of their song sounds better than what they had?
No, not necessarily. I guess just.
But you are by changing their lyrics.
Here's what it is.
But I'll let you say your piece. But you are by changing their lyrics. You're essentially saying what I think sounds better is if I say it this way, because I don't want people to think I'm serenading a guy.
I think this is what it is. It depends on like if I'm singing to a girl, I want it to feel like it's about her and like romantic. It's like the romanticism rather than like
singing to a girl. Okay.
Rather than like the context of the lyrics. Like there's nothing wrong with the lyrics if it's a girl singing about a guy. It's a great melody, great lyrics and whatnot. And I won't change it if it changes like the rhyme scheme, you know, and whatnot. I'll have to cleverly change it.
If you're not singing, I want to take it for example, like let's say you're in a like a Las Vegas show, right? And it's just you singing like Frank Sinatra style. It's you in front of a band.
Yeah.
You're not singing to anybody. There is like this metaphorical woman that you're singing to, but like there is no one person that you're singing to. Is that why you would change it? Or would you take that moment to sing the song as it's written? And like, cause you're already doing a cover. You're already doing Aretha Franklin's Respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why not sing it the way that Aretha Franklin
I think now that I've matured more as a singer and I
an
appreciate lyrics
like
a little more,
yeah.
I think I'd keep it as is. And especially now since I have a girlfriend. I used to be, you know, before.
For sure. Every guy, especially in our generation, has a fear of like being thought of as gay or feminine.
Oh yeah, especially
ways.
like when I was a kid, I would be like, I don't want to be, and I know that there would be other people making fun of me, like Christian singing about a guy.
Like I could see maybe your first couple of years at Six Flags having that kind of like, if for whatever reason you were singing like maybe you were singing the lyrics got mixed up and now you're singing the girl side of Santa Baby.
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Somehow you guys, she said your line and now suddenly you're singing the girl part.
Yes.
Right. Which could happen.
Yes.
I could see maybe a younger version of us being kind of sweating it and purposely changing the lyrics so that it doesn't get confused.
Yeah.
Now I would think maybe we could probably be comfortable. And then if we got off stage and people were like, you know, you were singing to a dude, you were singing the chick part, right? We'd be like, yeah, well, you know, that's the song.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it's nowadays.
You've heard the song before, right?
Nowadays, it's we're more comfortable with that. We give less of a shit in terms of that because we are more free. Like if you know, when we were in middle school, we would constantly say like,
that's gay.
Christian, yeah, that's gay.
You're gay.
You're
He's
gay.
gay.
You
It's
like
gay.
boys. You touched my hand.
Yeah. No homo.
Right?
We've heard them all. We've heard
it all. Then that's very elementary.
Everybody has.
But now I think we're fine with it, especially like with songs where we get it. And like if
I sing Scrubs now, I probably wouldn't change the lyrics.
Yeah, and if you're
And I think there was probably a time when I sang Scrubs and I did change the lyrics.
Yeah. Here, okay. I like how you brought up Santa Baby because Michael Bublé on his Christmas album, he changed it to Santa Buddy. You know,
that's true.
Santa, yeah.
That's true.
And to make it seem like, hey, Santa, like, you know, hook a fella up, like, give me some goodies, rather than like, hey, Santa, I'm a girl, let me seduce you.
Letter. Yeah,
exactly. And so with that, with Michael Bublé being a respected vocalist, right, very classy vocalist. Him changing the lyrics to that, would that discredit the songwriters of that seasonal classic, or is it appropriate? And I think this is also what it is.
Well done.
Are you gonna say an offensive joke is shitty if it sucks, but an offensive joke could be great if it's clever? If you could make the group that you're making fun of say, actually, that's good.
That's a tough. I think that's a little bit different because humor, I think, is a little more subjective. But I get the analogy. I see where you're coming from. I think it's interesting though. The Michael Bublé thing really threw me for a loop because that's a good point. He does change it, and it's not like. Maybe it's because it's not like he's not doing a cover. He's not singing Eartha Kitt's version of Santa Baby. He's singing Michael Bublé's version of Santa Baby.
His own rendition.
Whereas when Weezer does a cover of Scrubs, they're doing a cover of TLC's Scrubs. Yeah. They're not making it their own. They're playing it with their instruments their way, but they're doing your song.
Yeah.
And so they're not making it their own, whereas Michael Bublé made that song his own.
Yeah. So I think it's all within context.
That's interesting. Yeah. That was interesting. I mean, that I really would have, I didn't expect that conversation to, come up at all, but
yeah,
that was a fun.
Oh, well, we don't plan this podcast.
Mind blowing.
I mean,
it's all irrelevant.
Speaking of which, we have to do an improv scene.
Yeah.
I know it's been a minute, and I miss doing improv with you. I mean, this is really our only source of improvisation. We no longer have a stage. So.
I thought you were going to say socialize.
Socialization.
Let's do an improv game. We're going to play Party Quirks.
2-person Party Quirks.
Do you remember when you would play, what was that improv game? Like Party Quirks with the party, right? And people would come over.
Yeah.
And you'd have to try and guess who they were.
Why did you have to look
because
for
I thought it had a
name
different name. I thought it had a different name.
No, it's Party Quirks.
I always think it's funny whenever you watch an improv person or like a middle school or a high school doing that game, they're always like talking to nobody in the house. They're always like, I got chips here and like a soda here and everything's ready for the party. Whereas like if it was a real scene, they would just be like watching TV.
Yeah.
Until someone rang the doorbell.
And someone with mature enough humor, because we were in middle school and high school when we would play that game. And of course we're like, oh, it's just us on the stage. I got to fill the space and I got to make people laugh. Like the attention's on me. But like nowadays with like, we like to, I don't know, we can appreciate something more realistic.
And we like the opposite joke. I know that's one of our things for sure where we're like, oh, you think we're going to be making corn? Well, we brought celery.
Yeah. Like, and that's comedy, baby.
And that's comedy,
surprising,
baby.
right? You don't want to anticipate it.
That's the period on that.
If you expect it, it's a dad joke.
No. I got a joke for you here that's unexpected and a dad joke.
What?
So this guy goes into a bar and he's sitting there and he's reading the menu over and over again, front and back. And finally the bartender comes up to him and says, hey man, what can I get for you? And he goes, I just don't know. He goes, I just don't know what to order. And he goes, well, what do you like? You like sweet? You like sour? And the guy the bartender's talking to him for a minute. He goes, I got the perfect drink for you. I'm going to make you this drink. Whips up this cool looking green drink for you, hands it to him. He takes a sip. He goes, this is great. He goes, what's it called? He goes, it's called the grasshopper. He goes, this is incredible. I'll have another grasshopper. Guy has 4 grasshoppers that night, right?
Yeah.
So he's walking home, and on his way home, guess what hops in front of his way on the sidewalk?
A grasshopper.
And he says, hey, I just had a drink named after you. And the grasshopper goes, you had a drink named Irving?
Okay, I see how that's a dad joke. I can see. All right, so that's I would classify that as a dad joke.
Really?
And unexpected. It's gonna.
But. Oh. Okay.
No, not that. And people, it's not. They're bad.
I hear that my jokes are a lot of dad jokes. Like when I say my jokes, like my jokes like that, setup and punchline.
Yes.
I'm always told that they're dad jokes.
No, but the thing is that good jokes and dad jokes aren't mutually exclusive. Dude.
They're a Venn diagram, and sometimes they overlap.
Exactly what I was gonna say. There's gonna be an overlap, dude. And like I wouldn't fully classify that as a dad joke because I feel like dad jokes are shorter, right?
Like what's a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
Most people think it is, but it's actually the C.
Yeah, that's full blown dad joke.
That joke made James Franco laugh.
And is that? And then, okay, that's okay, but we'll get to this. But like, is it because that's unexpected? Because everyone now thinks, or at the time thought,
R.
R.
Yeah, that's the best part about the joke is everyone.
But now,
because they think it's so easy. I'm stupid for asking them.
Yeah.
It's R. The best time to say that joke is when a kid says a joke of like, how come the pirate couldn't get into the movie? Because it was rated R. And then you go, hey, you know what a pirate's favorite letter is? And then
R, right?
It's R. And you go, no, it's actually the C.
The C.
But you got to do the C. You got to do the pirate.
Oh, how about this?
Because if you just say it's C.
Let me try.
Okay.
Hey, dude, what's a pirate's favorite letter?
Already massacring a 2-line joke.
Okay, hey, dude, what's a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
No, man, it's actually G. I don't know. Dad joke.
But that's so bad. Yes, a poorly executed dad joke.
I think it would have been funnier if I didn't stumble upon the joke itself.
It's all funny. Believe me, that was all funny.
It's all bad. I need to rethink my passions.
No. But it's just such a simple joke. It's just so silly, and like everyone who hears it is just like, fuck, how you got me with that one.
You got me again.
Damn it.
Let's do a scene.
All right.
Oh man. Hey, Dad. It's
1 second, Charles. Now that I've completed the report that I was writing, enter the office, Charles.
Thank you. Dad, I just wanted to talk to you yesterday when I
Excuse me? You wanted to talk to me yesterday?
Talk to you about yesterday. I apologize. When I had
well, use proper English, Charles. You know I don't appreciate when you skip words.
I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm a little nervous, so I'm stumbling a little bit.
Well, stand up straight and say what you have to say. Spit it out, son.
Okay. Yesterday.
I don't have time for you to be messing around.
I don't mean to bother you from your work, but when I had John and Cindy over yesterday, my new friends, I just didn't really appreciate how much you were trying to make them laugh. It was rather embarrassing. I would have just liked it if you had just left us alone. I'm trying to make friends here, and you're coming, telling your jokes and your stories about work, and it's
Charles, I told no jokes yesterday. All of those stories were true stories that happened to me in real life. Those are real stories.
Your story about Korea.
Yes.
How
they all said, "Look at me, I'm American," and like opened their eyes. Yeah, hilarious. That actually happened when I found myself stranded in North Korea.
It just sounded like you were being racist.
No, I was being hilarious.
So you're
about
telling
my
me
life.
you're telling me that you went to Korea
For
and
a
these
short amount of
Korean
time.
people made their eyes bigger and said, "Hey, look at me."
They were being racist to me, an American visitor in the beautiful land of North Korea.
Now, John and Cindy didn't take it the right way. John is half Korean, and he went home and told his dad.
Hey, sucks to suck then.
I don't. That's really mean, Dad. And if you act that way with my friends, they're never gonna come over, and I'm gonna
Honestly,
hate
Charles,
it here.
maybe you don't need those friends.
I think I do.
Because your friends are laughing at your father. Your father is telling them truth, honest stories about my past, trying to get them to understand how we can afford such a luxurious home like this in Beverly Hills.
Now,
If it wasn't for me selling the jewel of Tabitha to the king of Korea, you wouldn't have the clothes on your back, Charles. You wouldn't have those Jordans you keep on your feet.
Now,
you wouldn't have those $20 sunglasses you keep losing.
It's hard. They fall out, okay, off of my face. This is what I'm talking about, though. You were yelling at them like this.
I was telling them my story.
The story about Alaska?
I was telling them about the time me and Premier Putin had to cross the barren land of Alaska.
And you were missing so many details.
They didn't seem interested.
You said, how many polar bears did you say you killed during that trip?
17, and Putin killed 18.
And you know that Cindy is an animal lover. She's vegan, and she did not take to that very well.
What? When in Rome, do as the Romans. When with Putin, do as Putin's.
And kill 17 polar bears? Dad, all I'm trying to say is that you could tell your stories, but you could omit some details or just, leave us be.
I will not omit.
I
omit nothing.
15-year-olds.
Have I ever omitted things to you, son?
Never.
Have I ever lied to you, son?
No.
Have I ever withheld information from you, son?
And I'm not.
When you were 4 years old and you said, "Daddy, I don't understand how Santa can fit down the fireplace chimney," and I said to you, "Well, he actually doesn't." Weren't you happier knowing that Santa wasn't real?
No, I cried. I cried for a long time that day.
Well,
I was
were
setting
tears
out
of joy.
cookies with Mom, and she would tell me, "Santa's going to eat these," but then they would just be gone the next day, only to find out that you just ate them.
Well, son, we thought you enjoyed magic.
I wouldn't call that magic. Dad, you took the magic away from me when you told me Santa was fake. You took the magic away from me. You took it away when I put the teeth underneath my pillow.
You said, "Dad, I don't understand why Cindy got $1 for her tooth and I'm only getting a quarter." And I said, "Well, maybe Dad had a job when Cindy was losing her teeth."
Dad, I feel like you're making me try to grow up too fast.
I think you're not growing up fast enough, Charles.
I'm 15. I think I'm really at a good spot
Charles,
right now.
when I was 15, I had murdered 2 men and kissed 2 men.
And this is what I'm talking about.
How many men have you kissed?
First of all, I'm 0 because I'm heterosexual, Dad.
Exactly my point.
I like
And
Cindy.
I am not?
No, you're with Mom, and I get that, and I'm fine. The 80s was a very experimental phase.
It was a wonderful phase.
That's great, and I'm
full
not
of
judging
cocaine and huge penises.
Dad, this is what I'm talking about. You don't omit anything.
I would never lie to you.
But these are, we didn't prompt these stories at all. You came to us while we were watching a movie, took the clicker, turned off the TV, and said, "Hey, listen to me."
I am far more entertaining than that silly movie you watched by, what was it, Christopher Nolan's Tenet.
Yeah,
I would turn that off immediately every single time.
Really advanced for its time.
You don't need to pay attention to that whole movie.
Cut to the moment where he turns off the movie and actually tells us a story. I heard this movie is really good. I mean, like Christopher Nolan with another.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Pause the fucking movie.
I'm sorry. This is my dad.
Shut the fuck up. I'm talking, Charles. Pause the fucking movie, Charles.
Mr. Johansson.
Shut the fuck up, Charles. Pause the fucking movie.
Mr. Johansson. Dad, you're really embarrassing me. We don't want to hear about Korea right now.
Yeah. Let me tell you about Korea.
No, look, cut back to your office. You were blackout drunk.
I don't believe so. I remember every minute of it.
I don't think you do.
I walked in. I said, "Good afternoon, Charles and company. What movie are you all enjoying? How about a funny anecdote of my life?"
Cut to the anecdote.
And I told that Korean bitch, I said, "That's not what Americans look like."
Cut back to the office.
I told your female friend, I said, "What an amazing rack she has."
Dad, she's 15.
And I told your friend, the guy, I told him, "What a nice long schlong dong he's got there."
You'd even see it. He's 15.
But I could tell by the size of his hands.
Dad, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to stop you from being able to see me or my friends. I'm gonna tell Mom that you fell off the horse.
No. Okay. Hey, Charles, stop. First, you don't need to bring your mother into this. You don't need to tell her that I'm drinking again. You don't need to sequester yourself away from me. I understand, Charles. This is rock bottom, Charles. I never thought I would lose my son. I'm gonna be honest with you, Charles.
What?
I'm fucking hammered. I don't know what's happening.
God damn it, Dad. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll talk about this later. And cut. Well, let's come up with right now. Let's come up with a song on what we're gonna sing every single time we end our improv scenes.
That's it. That's what we're gonna use.
That's all, folks.
We have to pay for that. We can't.
I can't fucking say that.
Beep beep beep.
Yeah, when we beeped all of that.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fun.
I imagine Charles being a real piece of shit son.
Dude, Charles, what? Charles was a good son. Charles was just
Charles is an analogy for Donald Trump.
No, you're the only person that thinks
if Donald Trump Sr. If Donald Trump didn't have his dad, who was my character,
yeah,
and Charles is secretly Donald J. Trump.
You're the only person making that connection. No one of the people that are listening to this and heard that improv scene, no one thought that.
I wonder if Donald Trump's dad would have kissed him or hugged him even once, if he would be a different person.
I don't know. I don't really hug my dad. Do you think Donald Trump's dad would hug him?
I know you do. I've seen it. In fact, I have video proof of it.
I mean, it's just that, I barely
You know why I'm bringing it up now? Because in the time of that episode when we recorded and you took that photo of you hugging your dad, you're like, I hug my dad all the time.
Yeah, but
and now you're like, actually, I never touched him.
As I edited that, I realized how
rare
much I don't. Man, it's because it's weird, dude.
I don't hug my dad.
You don't?
No.
You don't?
Well, I mean...
You hug your mom?
Yeah, but my mom asks for it.
I have a question. When you say bye to your mom...
for it.
When you say bye to your mom whenever you leave the house, do you say, I love you?
That's interesting you bring that up. I have a tough time saying that first to anybody that's not like my partner and like my girlfriend at the time.
You don't even say that to me.
No, I have a real tough time saying that to friends. You
Wow.
know, and I have a tough time saying it first. Mm-hmm. I'm more of a I don't know. It's weird because
that's what you say. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
Someone says I love you.
I don't know. Like, I know it's weird because I've had friends point it out to me. Like Nick Lowe pointed it out to me a long time ago. Jules has pointed it out to me. And like, it's not like I don't love my friends. I do. I just don't. I'm not comfortable saying I love you, man.
It's not a criticism if people say that to you. It's an observation because there are people that have their walls up and that carry that word with a lot of weight. That
being said, though, when I'm in a relationship, like I say it a lot. I like when I am. Here's what it came down to. I think I explained it once to somebody as like, I say that to somebody that like I'm really in love with, somebody that I like really am truly like passionate about. That's what I save those words for. I love you. I feel like I'm diminishing them by just using them for my friends who I do love and who I do care about. But I want it to be that much more special when I do say it.
I get that.
to my partner, my non-existent partner.
I get that. No, and I appreciate that. It's like it's the same way in which like you rarely pay forward compliments because it's kind of like you don't like to support mediocrity, maybe, right?
What do you mean? Like you don't. What do you mean? I don't like to pay forward compliments?
No. You don't do it nearly as often as like, let's say me, because I'm a nice guy. You are very much like. I
don't go tit for tat. If someone compliments me, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, you like my shoes? I love."
It's not
your
a transaction,
socks.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not just going to say it out of nowhere or to just like whatever, right?
And again,
you're going to say it if you mean it.
Exactly.
That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to make that connection.
Correct.
But there's logic with like keeping weight to such a precious word.
I agree.
Like today, when today was the first time I saw you in like a month, like we had said, and it was really nice and surprising that you came in for a hug like immediately.
Yeah,
it was nice and like this never happened.
Yeah.
Usually like when we see each other, since it's so frequent in the past year, we usually just see each other as kind of like
if anything,
sometimes we miss and we're just like
do it on purpose, like yeah, fuck it, yeah, you know,
yeah, like it's
I'll see you in like 12 hours.
Yeah, I see you more than my girlfriend. You know.
Yeah, that's true. So it, you know, and I, not to say like I'm glad you noticed that, but like yeah, I want things to have weight when I want them to, right? And I don't want things to, not like if I hug you every day they'd be diminished. It's not like one day I'd hug you and you'd be like, Alex, that hug wasn't up to standards. You know what I mean? Like that would never happen.
Have you been judged for your hugs before? Like
and only, I mean, yes, but only in like a good way. Only with like people being like, you give them the best hug. You know how like girls are in high school and stuff like.
To girls in high school, say everyone gives the best hugs.
So yeah. So then, well, now I don't know if it's a real compliment. But,
I'm sorry.
At
least they say that to me all the time.
But I would imagine a man like you would give a good bear hug, and I give a nice like fun hug because I got a rock hard boner.
Stop, dude.
I'm back, baby.
Stacy, did Alejandro hug you? Does he have a rock hard boner right now?
Yeah, look at my bruise.
Hey, John, did Alejandro hug you too?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, look at my bruise.
It's in my mouth. It's on the back of my throat.
What, did you hug him upside down? Oh, so guttural. Holy crap.
Jesus.
Fucking shit.
No, I
dude.
think, I think now that we're in the serious part of highly relevant, I think when I say something, as a man, I got two things in this world.
Balls.
My word and my dick.
Okay.
All right, I got to make sure they're both important.
Your word and your dick. Okay, I like that. Yeah, and I appreciate that. There is, and I've told you before that I get along with you because usually what you say is blunt and straightforward.
Sure.
Like, I don't want to be in a room with a nice guy and we're just being nice to each other for like an hour straight.
Which you're great at doing. I've seen you do it.
I've
seen you like try to out nice another nice guy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I like to sit back and just watch you two just like spin like tops, and it's just
at a certain point, one of us has to just pick on each other. Like with
that's when I step in.
Chris Perry is a good example.
You guys will be nice to each other. You guys are nice back and forth.
We were. Now
and now you're a dick to him?
No, now we're dicks to each other, dude. Now we're dicks to each other. Of course, like we're gonna be, of course, very nice.
Hey, fat pig. Hey,
you know, like,
Chris.
hey, man, like we'll say what we really mean. But now now we have a joke of like saying, man, dude, how old are you? Like 35? Man, you're old as shit. Like,
gross.
But
Chris is like 35.
He's like 40, I think. I see a new wrinkle on him every single day.
No, Asians don't wrinkle.
No, man.
Not until they hit like 60, and then they like.
Dude, did you see Akira's grandma?
Speaking of aging Asians, have you seen Ip Man 4?
I would watch that movie, Aging Asians. Not Ip Man 4, but Aging Asians
you should watch Ip Man 4, but also Aging Asians. Now we should do our improv thing.
All right.
No, but Aging Asians is a fun little prompt for us. But anyways, Ip Man 4. You've seen Ip Man.
Half of like the first one.
Oh, man.
But Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
Donnie Yen.
Kills it. In Ip Man 3, I think he fights Mike Tyson.
Because Ip Man is
Bruce Lee's
sensei. That's what it is. And that was his whole thing. And like he blew up. Or like the movie blew up.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
So there was Ip Man 1 and 2. And then they like fired Donnie Yen. They brought in like Jet Li for like one of them. And then everyone's
he became Ip Man?
For like one movie. And everyone's like, this sucks. Where's Donnie Yen? Then they brought back Donnie Yen. And then I think in his return, he fights Mike Tyson. And then in Ip Man 4... there's more Bruce Lee, so he's like in America.
Mike.
Straight up Mike Tyson.
What?
He's like in China saying Chinese.
That's the collab that.
It's great.
Analogous to, comparable to Bruce Lee, and
fighting Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris, exactly.
No, it's like Bruce Lee fighting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh yeah,
that's what it is.
That was wild, and
which
Jackie Chan was in that. fight, not that fight scene, but that
yeah,
movie.
I think he's in that movie. That fight scene, the one against Kareem, is the most bonkers karate fight scene because Kareem is wearing like boxers.
Yes.
And is like doing his karate moves, but he's so long and lanky.
Yeah.
It just looks like a squid or something. Like it looks so
It was weird
crazy.
seeing Kareem without a basketball.
It was weird seeing Kareem without his goggles.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
like-
It's like looking at Horace Grant without goggles.
Kareem, bro.
Yeah.
With the J. Shout out to the Lake Show, bro. Lake Show made it to the finals. I think they're gonna take it in 4.
How do you feel like with the fake audience, or like like how
It's interesting. I think it depends on the sport, and it's interesting. I don't think basketball necessarily needs
it doesn't
the crowd
need it
noise
as much.
But I do think football does.
Yeah, football is way more like aggressive.
It's about the sound is like a whole nother player. It's the 12th man on the field.
Well, football is outside too.
Yeah.
So
Some of them.
some of them, but like with it being outside is going to sound so empty.
And also basketball has like sound effects to it. Generally,
Yeah.
there's like
Boom shakalaka.
yeah, and bling, 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 like when they make a 3-pointer, like generally there's sound effects with the basketball game. So you could like play music or whatever like they would normally in a basketball game, except and have no crowd noise. I think where it affects the players is like when they first started the NBA bubble, you could tell that LeBron had a difficult time not having a crowd to like amp up. Like you could tell certain players had that difficulties. But as opposed to like baseball, when baseball first came out and they had all this canned noise, some of the players were like, we'd rather just play in silence. Like it just sounds so fake, and like I don't want to hear them do like na 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 charge, and like there's nobody actually saying it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
cut the fake chants and
just
just
do
like
this in
let's just play
silence.
baseball. I think they
Interesting.
found like a middle ground where there's some clapping and
There's
stuff, but,
enough
like,
for the people viewing it to not get bored, but enough for the people playing it to stay
yeah,
concentrated.
I don't know how much is being pumped into the players as it's going, and how much is being pumped into our TV.
Yeah.
You know, I think that also is a difference.
That's true.
Makes a difference. But I also wonder too. Like the players all say it's like playing in high school again, or playing at like a D3 college where like there's just no crowd.
Wow.
And so for some players, they've been in D1. Like LeBron James has only ever played in giant stadiums his entire life.
So that's his
This is
element.
probably his. That's this exactly. So this is the first time where LeBron James is playing in front of like nobody.
It's very much like I've listened to some comedians talk about like how their sweet spot is a comedy club, not an
300
arena.
people.
Yes, a few hundred, and I get that. Like I don't think I would as glorious as it would be to do Madison Square Garden as a stand up. I don't think it would be the same to like hear like as opposed to like a very intimate club, right?
You know, there's a difference. It's a different energy and it's a different show, right? I imagine it like a rock show.
Yeah.
You know how great it is to see Nirvana unplugged right there in front of you with Kurt Cobain playing an
Oh, I'm
acoustic
sure it's
guitar?
glorious.
But you know how also great it would be to see Nirvana rock out full blast at fucking the Hollywood Bowl?
Yeah, but
You know what
also
I mean?
where am I sitting? That's also something I need to take into consideration too.
That's interesting. For me, not so much. I like to experience more. I've been to some concerts where I'm all the way far away past the lawn, and I'm still having a good time because I
Yeah.
can still hear the music. I
Yeah.
can see the screen, and you know, I know what fucking
Yeah.
Eddie Money looks like.
I
You
think
know what I mean?
I've been spoiled in the past like 2 or 3 years of like being able to see some of my favorite artists that haven't
In small
blown
rooms.
up in like they've just been like small rooms in like SF or Oakland or Sacramento, and I'd be
wish
able
I
to
saw-
get up front and close and like see the sweat
Yeah.
drip off of them, and I think it's or they make eye contact with you or like
sure.
someone crowd surfs and I'm
I'm
touching
there. I'm in it.
I'm touching your butt.
Yeah. That's my watch now.
That's I'm pickpocketing the musician that I look up
Brandon
to.
Urie's wallet.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
you'll
know
make it
why I
back.
picked Brandon Urie.
Yeah, it's so specific.
It is. You have a good point. You know, it is a different energy and it's a different move. I think one of the first concerts I ever went to was a Temptations concert when I was a kid.
At the Concord Pavilion, right?
It was at the Marin County Fair, and I was so close to them that like I was right like 20, not even 20 feet, 10 feet away from these people, and like making eye contact with the Temptations. You know what I mean? Which was like a crazy visceral moment for me. Somebody, especially at that time, who was such a fan of the Temptations.
Yeah.
And then like the next concert I saw, I think it was. Oddly enough, I think it was Eddie Money at a different like county fair or whatever, because you know it's the summer, and I'm super far away, but it's a different amount of energy, the same amount of fun.
Yeah. It is really just different.
Yeah.
It's comparing two different things, but both still good, right? I
Right.
think like I watched my first concert was Coldplay. And like I had pretty
Great.
decent seats, and that was fucking awesome. My next concert was Usher with Otis, and Otis only brought me because a girl
Bailed on him.
Bailed on him. He was like, "Oh, I'll bring Christian."
You know, I want to go to more music. You should please take me, because I don't know. I don't, like, my ear is not on the pulse.
Okay, yeah.
Especially like right now, it's not like there's anything going on anyway. But
it sucks because I was listening to I listened to this guy. His name is Rex Orange County, and he just released a live album from like him playing at Radio City Hall.
yeah,
In New York.
I mean, I didn't know he was there, but I'm familiar with the building.
But yeah, he and then like the live album, and like you could hear the audience roar.
Oh my god! I'm so glad you brought up live. Continue.
And it like you hear the audience roar. He just plucks the guitar once, and from that note, they're able
They
to
already know,
recognize what song this is, and they're freaking out. And it gave
an
me
Elton John
goosebumps
concert.
and made me emotional because I'm like, fuck, with this pandemic, that
That
whole
may not happen again.
that whole culture is dead until further notice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was such a crazy feeling that you get. Like, good music like that, live shows that are recorded on CDs are such a crazy experience for me. Like, I'm actually really, really fond of a live recording, right? Just recently, you'll love this. Just the other day, while I was in quarantine, because I'm trying to kill time, I had bought myself, before I got stuck, I bought myself a nice piece of steak, a nice bone-in, and I was going to cook it real pretty and make myself a nice meal and have a glass of wine and eat my dinner and have a nice thing. But as I was cooking, I had stumbled across an album, which was a live recording of the Sands Casino featuring Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh my God, I'm melting right now.
I sat and listened to this album. It's only like maybe an hour and 15, maybe an hour and 20 minutes long. Listen to the whole album, top to bottom. And it was like I was sitting in a live show. I would sit there with my eyes closed, eating this crazy dinner with listening to this incredible music. It was like I was there. I'll show you part of this album, because you need to download this album and do this. And like have a hour blocked off where you can just like eat a nice meal, listen to this beautiful album. And like, because the other crazy part that was fun is like, it was a live show. So like Dean and Frank are like messing with Sam. They're like also like blatantly racist against Sammy. Like everyone always says like, yeah, but Sammy was in on the joke. But it's like, Sammy hated these jokes. You can hear in his like responses of being like, he's just giving tit for tat. That's neither here nor there.
He's a performer. He has to be professional.
Exactly.
He has to just,
and they are clearly all friends. Like the way that they make those jokes, it's clear that they're friends. You wouldn't make that joke to somebody you don't know, right? Even if it was an act.
But I'm sure they take it too far sometimes, right?
There was a couple of jokes where even I was like, yikes.
Oh, why would you say that?
But incredible hour. Like,
please, I'll
album top to bottom.
show me the album. I'll put it on my Spotify right after this.
So good, dude. It is so good.
I was listening to, and not that I'm like a huge fan, but like this made me like emotional. It was we had just done Fear and Loathing, right, with David McEwen, and Wayne Newton was on there, and so like I downloaded a bunch of like familiar Wayne Newton songs. Like
you've been a big Newton fan, though.
I mean, yeah, I like his song. Bobby Darin, who I'm a huge fan of, discovered Wayne Newton, and
when he was like 13,
like a kid, dude.
Yeah.
And so he was doing like all these crooner hits, like The Summer Wind, Strangers in the Night. I Left My Heart in San Francisco, which is one of my tops, and I was listening to it. And I got real emotional listening to some like swing crooner music, because it made me like, damn, dude, with this right now, I'm so grateful for this podcast, because this is my outlet to entertain, right?
Sure.
I haven't sang in front of a crowd or like really got into like being that element in such a long time. And that's such a close thing to my heart, especially that genre. And I've gotten criticisms for loving that genre, because a lot of people say like, you listen to like old music. Like, can you sing something else? Sing a different type of song,
an old
dude.
head,
But I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
Like you want me to sing Boyz II Men and like R&B, but and as much as I love that, that's not me. Like what I want to sing is from like deep down, and that's like I'm a crooner at heart.
But and I think that's unfortunately, from what I understand, a singer's like cross to bear.
Yeah.
Elvis hated singing rock and roll. He wanted to sing gospel.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ray Charles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but that's not what makes the money. Yeah. Supposedly, also Justin Bieber wants to sing Christian rock and not be doing pop.
Wow.
That's what I hear on the rumor mill. But like, so like people do what they do what they do to get going. Yeah. But everybody, I think deep down also like, but you know what I really wish I was? It's like every basketball player wants to be a rapper, and every rapper wants to be a basketball player. It's like, I'm J. Cole, but what I really want to be is in the NBA. Like,
dude, I'd watch J. Cole. I would watch that. J. Cole versus Kendrick Lamar.
J. Cole versus Drake.
Yeah, dude, I'd watch that. I would for sure.
I think that one of the ones artist or genre of music, and I classify this artist as his own genre because it is so iconic. That always gets me pretty emotional is Bob Dylan. And that's a type of, or that's an artist or a genre of music that when people find out that I'm a big fan of Bob Dylan, it's almost like oh really, like I can't even understand what he's saying, like I don't know, all of his stuff kind of sounds
it's
like
so distinctive though, and it's like it's
and
its
it is hard
own thing.
Yes, it is. It's very much its own thing, and it is hard to understand what he's saying. It is a little bit difficult, but if you can understand Lil Wayne's raps because you've listened to it over and over again, like you can pretty much understand Hurricane or ISIS, because it's like these are like songs, but it's just his voice. That's just how he talks, and like, and then the other thing is like he is so like harebrainy and out there. Sometimes you kind of like got to use your own imagination to kind of like understand what he's saying. And like, there's songs that I've listened to Bob Dylan that like mean so much to me in this sense because I think I understand what he's trying to say. And then I'll read about the song and like what he was trying to get across, and I'm like, wow, I didn't get any of that, but I still love the song. But I still think that and it still means this to me. Yeah. I know this is what he meant.
And no one can take that away from you.
No.
I think it's always interesting when you tell someone about like your music taste and they be like, I didn't think you'd like that actually.
My music taste is so out there. You've seen like my playlists too.
Yeah, you have like a very a wide range. A wide range, like a bunch of different things. Like we definitely connect on like the whole crooner, like we like a bunch of oldies and whatnot.
We connect on a lot of points, but then there's a lot of gaps in our music knowledge that the other person fills.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So like, I know you're not really big into like grunge or rock or like late.
Like I don't know Nirvana.
Yeah. Or like, I would venture to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, rock from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I would say that you're probably not too up on.
That's accurate. That is accurate.
And I think I'm a little more acclimated to it. But I think because like we had a music. I think we both started listening to the same music because of our parents. We're into a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
But then we kind of took it separate ways. Like you kind of went on the left train, and then I just progressed the music to like, well, if this came out in the 60s, what came out in the 70s? So and then what came out in the 80s? And that's kind of how my music taste developed, was progressing through these. And then now, finding artists and then like going back to their beginnings and then like hearing their new stuffs and then like covers of their stuff, especially with like Apple Music and Spotify. It's 1,000 versions of single songs, which I think is great.
It's crazy how we get into like these rabbit holes of just like we get obsessed with like a song or like an artist, and then like let's see like what album was their least successful and if I like anything from there.
And you've seen me get deep, like lost in like a David Bowie hole. David Bowie traps me about every 3 months. I'll get trapped into a deep David Bowie hole. But I think that's just like the way I like just give myself to Lucifer. Is listening to these songs and repeating the hymns that he says. But in all seriousness, like I do think that there's certain feelings and artists and musics that bring us back and bring us back to certain moments and memories. And for me, like I've always thought that music, I've always said that music anchors my memories more so than anything else, more so than like smells or sights or tastes or touch. Music, I can hear a song and be in the car with Laura, and I mean, like from years and years ago, know exactly what we were talking about, what we were doing, just from listening to the song or the moment that we had. Anything, all the way back to like middle school, high school, and some people don't have that.
Man,
like I talked to my mom about this. My mom has no connection to music like that. My mom thinks music is pretty. My mom thinks music is nice, but she could.
No, but that's the beautiful part about music is that we were tethered. The music itself is tethered to an associated memory.
Like I said, music anchors my memories.
Yes, and I love that.
I think the buoy that hold me back.
Most people could relate to that.
A lot of people can. A lot of people can. I wouldn't say most. I think
if you're not in that demographic, then I'm sorry, because it's such a wonderful feeling. Regardless if even it's a sad song or like brings back a sad memory.
I want to feel it.
I want to feel it. Like I hear songs from like they remind me of like of my old relationship, my first, and like, and it's, and it's not like it's not, obviously I'm in my relationship now, 6.5 years deep, but like that doesn't mean that those memories are destroyed. It's still a feeling. Like even the sad parts. I have 2 specific songs that remind me of the day where I knew my ex-girlfriend was going to break up with me.
Oh no!
And I love those songs. One of the 3. I'll say 3. One is You're Still a Young Man by Tower of Power.
That's every Mexican man's breakup song. Just so you know. Every Mexican man, whenever they go through a breakup, that is the song that they play. Because it's the trumpets.
Right when you hear that. If you don't feel anything from the sound of those trumpets, you are a robot.
And then it goes face down, then it's, you're still a young man.
Such a good song.
Ooh,
dude.
Don't waste your time.
You know what it was? And what it was
such a good song.
So you knew my ex-girlfriend, of course. We were all friends. We had gone
Upton.
to Disneyland. Yes, Kate Upton, my ex-girlfriend.
Did I play that song for you guys or something?
No, actually no.
Oh.
One of it was so when we were in Disneyland, our last day there, we had gone through a bunch of tension during Disneyland. Broke up maybe just 2 or 3 days after we'd come back from Disneyland.
Sure.
The happiest place on earth.
Ironic.
When we were in the middle of a fight, we were on the main street of Disneyland, and I was pissed. And there was a marching band playing Tower of Powers, You're Still a Young Man.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's serious.
That's insane.
And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm so emotional
still
right
a
now.
young man.
Like, I'm still a young man. I've done.
That's what that song does. That's what that song does.
Like, you get me, Tower of Power. I am still a young man.
I saw Tower of Power live
At the Concord Pavilion?
at the Napa Valley.
Fair?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, you're watching hella bunch of fairs, dude.
Yeah. I saw Sinbad at a county fair.
Still good. Oh, Sinbad. From Jingle All the Way.
I'll tell you what, in fact, one of the only concerts that wasn't a county fair was Train and Maroon 5. I saw them at the Sleep Train Pavilion. Anyways, what were we just saying?
We were saying, no, yeah. That was the Tower of Power was the song that was playing.
And what were the other two songs?
The one of them, I don't think you know. One is Love by Keisha Cole, and the other one is Overjoyed by Stevie Wonder. And they both. It was
I know the second one.
They were playing. I was playing them in my car. We'd just got in a big fight. And I came to terms that she wants to meet up with me today. And she wants to meet to meet up with me today. Yeah. Yeah. So she meets up at my house, and she says, "Can we drive to the pier?" And I'm like, "I know where this is going."
I'm already like, my stomach just turned right there. Because I know that. Oh,
you feel it, right? So we meet up. We get in the car. I drive down there.
Crying already.
Of course, I hook up my iPod. And I'm like, I don't want this to just be an awkward side. I've accepted it.
Yeah.
I know what happened, what's going on, what this feels. What am I going to play right now to make me feel good? So I played those two songs. Overjoyed specifically, I started singing on the way to
try
the
and
pier.
break the monotony.
Yeah, I mean, just because I was like, I've accepted it. I already know. And no matter how much you accept that it's going to happen.
It still hurts.
Oh my God, when it happened.
Do you listen to those songs now, though? Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Pretty regularly or every once in a while?
Pretty regularly.
Interesting.
Actually. Not for that purpose.
Yeah. But just because you still like those songs.
Yes.
So for me, one of the songs that really sticks out to me that's pretty important, or not important, but sticks out to me like that is it's a song that reminds me of Laura and like a time that it's a better time. Unfortunately, not like you and your ex. And the song was No Place I'd Rather Be by Clean Bandit.
Yeah.
And I remember when I found that song, I thought it was one of the coolest songs I'd ever. I remember even showing you and Austin it. I mean, you guys got to hear the song. This song's awesome. I love this song. I like this girl's vibe. I like the voice that they use. I like everything about the song. And then somehow I was ahead of the curve because a month later that song started coming up on the radio a bunch. And I remember me and Laura would listen to it and I'd be like, oh, I love this song. I'd always turn it up, or it would always come up on my my phone if it was plugged into the car and stuff. And then when I left on my 21st birthday, I went on a road trip to New Orleans, and I was gone for 3 weeks. And in that time, I was gone for 2 weeks on that trip, and a week before then I had been in Reno, so I was gone for about 3 weeks. And in that amount of time, it was rough for us in that part of our relationship to be apart for so long. And she had told me that, she's like, while you were gone, I was driving to work, and that song came on the radio. And she's like, I just lost it because it reminded me of you. And I've never been able to really listen to that song again because I always imagine just of course it's so much different now, but in that moment, she must have been so I don't know, cared for me so much at that point. And then the song reminds her that like I'm not there or whatever, and she kind of like breaks down. I had never had anybody who had cared about me that much and like had something as trivial as a song remind them of me and have such strong emotions. You know, I'll never forget that. And unfortunately, I've never really been able to listen to that song again because it just reminds me of like, spoilers, that relationship didn't end. It ended. It didn't end the greatest. It was rough. It wasn't up until maybe about before all this COVID shit happened was when I was finally able to like, I ran into her again out of some sheer luck, and we were able to kind of like have a talk and like, you know, kind of clear the air and stuff. But yeah, for a long, and in fact, that song had come on a little while after we had cleared the air, and I was able to listen to the song in its entirety. And I honestly think that was probably one of the first times I had heard it from beginning to end since like our relationship. And it is interesting to me how certain songs like that will, you know, really stir a lot of strong emotions. I think Somewhere Beyond the Sea is another one that stirs a strong one. With my last relationship, we had sung that song one time while we were driving in a car, and at the end when he just loops, we were doing like ad libs in between, and so it was like that moment of like that cute, funny, silly sort of thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So you know, like so songs stick with you. You know, songs. We're also fairly musically inclined people, though. You know, one of the things I wanted to say is when I kept harshing on like mostly, you know, if there are people out there who don't have like memories that are anchored by music, I want to know. I want you to tell me like what is it? Is it smells that anchor your memories? Like if you pass by a bakery, you're just like, oh, I remember the first time, you know, like we came out here and stuff like that. So I'm interested. It's that same idea of when you think in your head, right? Do you think in like a monologue, or do you just think the thought?
Yeah, because we're used to our own conscience,
and we don't even question it. We just assume everybody else has the same conscience we do.
That we all think the same, that our opinions are very people have similar opinions, right? That's what you think. But it's I am curious, dude, and it's like I feel sad if you don't have that ability to associate like music with the memory, because even if it hurts, fuck, dude, it's to feel, man, to fucking be human, to be vulnerable. It feels so good, dude. Even like my mom just bought this hand soap that she hasn't bought since like 2010, and it reminds me of this girl that I had a crush on.
It's funny, yeah, like the very like the 17-year-old girl perfume, you know, like I don't know, it's called, like the one you get at Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, the one you when they walk past you like down the aisle in school. Yeah.
So sometimes you'll be like at a mall, or like I remember when I was a waiter or when I was a server, there'd be like one girl who wore the same exact perfume that my high school girlfriend wore, and so I would walk past and I'd be like, "That's like this is insane! Like you smell like prom."
It's crazy. Like and now you associate that girl with like you're like weirdly attracted to the girl because you have an attraction for that girl.
Yeah. It all worked out. It's all square, man.
All square, yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. This was a crazy 40-minute detour we took about music.
I think it's
the better part of the episode.
Yeah. No, I think it's. I don't know. I'm happy to talk like this.
Yeah, this was fun. I started following a music theory page on Instagram.
Nice, man.
They're not my shout out. My shout out's actually at DJ Robb because you know I lost the bet. But no, I've been following this music theory page, so I don't necessarily understand all of it, but I understand some of it. And the more I look at it, the more I see their posts, the more I learn. Similar to how I learned about No Jumper, where like I didn't understand half the shit any of these guys were saying because I'm not in the culture. I didn't know who these names were that they were dropping, but like slowly but surely I started watching more and more and like started making the web connections, and I'm like, I understand this language now.
Dude,
I'm cool.
You get into it, and it's unknowingly, and like it's subtle. You're like, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Now I'm showing it to somebody, and they're asking me a question, and I can explain it. No, it's because Chris Brown. It's just like, oh yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's just because Chris Brown hit her.
It's that idea of like, if you can teach it to somebody, then you probably know the material.
Yeah, dude. We have trained the trainer. If you could teach someone that knows it, or like be on that same level, then you really fucking know it, dude.
It's kind of like, I'm sorry, I was gonna try and do another one, but I couldn't think of one.
It's like leading the leader.
It's like when you put a saddle on a horse. It knows it's gonna ride.
Yeah,
but you're coming with them.
Like you ever screw in a light bulb and it turns on? It's like that.
Why do you sound kind of Mexican now?
I don't know. One night,
you ever screw in a light bulb, bro? Hey man, you ever screw in a light bulb, bro?
Yeah, man, it's for then it turns on. That means you screwed it in right.
I always tell my wife, I say, hey, make sure you turn off the lights when I screw this in, because I could get electrocuted, Holmes. And she never does.
I'm gonna stop there. You can keep going at it because you're
'Cause I am
half
Mexican.
Hispanic. Yeah. But I can't.
Latinx, please, is what I like to be
Latinx.
preferred
Is it
to be called.
Latinx or Latinx?
I honestly don't know because I don't know anybody who actually calls himself that.
Yeah, I guess we should say Latinx so we keep the Spanish vowel.
I'm Latino.
Yeah, Latino, Latinx. So I guess that makes sense. So you want to shout out DJ?
Nice segue.
Nice segue.
That wasn't awkward at all.
Nope, I get super
That was
awkward,
great.
boy. Do you want to shout out?
DJ
Your guy?
Rob, I'm gonna find his exact handle because he spells it with like a couple of B's and maybe a J or something in there. I believe actually there is a J in there because how else do you spell DJ? It's at DJ Handsome Robb, 2 B's on that Rob. Yeah, man, he's our homie. He's on Real Buzz Crew.
Yeah, check out that podcast.
It's a hilarious podcast. They also review movies. We've talked about them in the past, but I didn't make a bet with the Real Buzz Crew. I made a bet with Rob and the goddamn Kansas City Chiefs. It played a great game.
Yep, and you had to shave your head for that, but it's
No,
okay.
I shaved my head because
Oh, I thought you said you lost the bet, so you shaved your head.
I shaved my head just because I wanted to shave my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did that on a whim.
And like I told you, good thing you have a nicely shaved head.
Thank God.
You don't have a pinhead.
I have a very rounded head, though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
Michaela
peanut.
Cavallini. Jules spoke a lot about her on the last episode.
Yes.
She used to look at me when I was a freshman, and she would turn her head sideways because she said my head looked like a watermelon tipped on its side.
Really?
Yeah, and that's how we'll end the episode.
Oh, that's how I end it.
unless
I
you
got
have
a
a shout out.
Yeah, I want to shout out Senya Smith. I'll put her. What the fuck? Can you look her up on your phone real quick? Because I forgot her. I think it's Senya Z Smith, and that is Senya with an X. I'll watch the video. I'll spell it out for you because she has a very unorthodox name. Senya.
Apparently,
It's a
I'm in
beautiful
messages,
name.
not search. Oops, my bad. I found it, but I was. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, I got it right. Senya Z Smith. No, Senya Smith. That's why I can't remember it. She's an artist. I recently won a little...
I was just going to say, are you shouting her out because you won her competition?
No, and I've been following her like an art for a while because I love
She does have
her
great... We've known her
art.
for a long time.
Yeah, she went to high school with us.
I used to live next door to her grandpa.
Really? That's specific, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Ed.
Right here in Benicia?
Yes, on
Damn.
Rose Drive. You've only known me in one house.
That's right. This is true. But yeah, follow her. You can follow her on Instagram at Senya Smith, which is XENIAZMITH. Also follow her apparel page, which is at senya.apparel, or her website, senyasmith.com. And I'll put all that right here. But yeah, she has beautiful art. Check it out.
She does.
And
And she's an old friend of ours. She's a good gal. This week we watched a scary movie.
yes,
So
because it's
get-
Halloween.
Get your October pants on, ladies and gents. We watched
The Purge.
That's it, the first one. No epitaph or anything else on the bottom. No
Not the
garbage
rest
or
of the
lettuce or shit.
No.
Just purging, bro.
Yeah, and you've all probably seen it by now. And we talk about it.
I mean, maybe not. This was the first time I'd ever seen it. So,
Really?
Yeah, I'd never seen the Purge. Like I said,
Oh, you did? Yeah,
I thought it was going to be way scarier than it ended up being. I think actually maybe horror films aren't as scary as I've built them up to in my brain.
You've been shying away from them for too long.
because I think I've made myself so. You know, the Signs trailer gave me nightmares as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Just the trailer itself?
Just the trailer alone, and my mom got me out of those nightmares because she told my stuffed animals that I was scared of a commercial, and they all laughed at me. So I stopped being scared of a
stuffed
commercial.
animals? I kind of wish I met you when we were kids.
No, you don't, because all the
Really?
people that I knew when I was a kid don't hang out with me now. Austin
that's probably-
Austin's a special, but that's different. He's in New York.
Yeah, that's true. It's just your geography that separates you guys.
What I'm trying to get to is Darius. I miss you.
He misses you, man.
My first friend, Darius Adele. Shout out.
Shout out. All right. Shall we head on out of here?
Let's go take
Baddies,
a shower.
We're going to go take a shower. I brought some soap. He brought
And I'm
the
going to
champ.
drop it.
And you're going to drop it. And I'll also drop mine. And we'll just bump booties. All right, baddies.
A moon landing.
Bye.
Can't be that bad.